You understand now? This you are done already, right? Last week also we have done the same class on BGP. Now you understand as to why you have done this, right? Now the question is, whatever routes have come from here, this particular $1 route, I want to give it to VR2. So VR2 can give to this particular neighbor, right? And this particular route again, I want to give to this VR1, so it can give to this particular router, right? So I want to have these routes in the BGP. How do I do that? So now I should create what? BGP between these two routers, right? BGP between these two routers. I want to send. How do I do that? Let's see. So I can't give IP address for this interface, right? I can't give IP address for this interface. So what did I do now? I created loopback interface on VR1, created one more loopback interface on VR2. So I do BGP peering between the loopback interfaces. Between the loopback interfaces, I want to enable what? BGP peering. You understood now? So how do I do that? See carefully. You understood this concept, ma? Yes or no, please? I can't give IP address here. I can't give IP address here. So what did I do? Create a loopback interface, create loopback interface. Between the loopback, I'm creating what? BGP routing protocol. You understood why you create a loopback interface? Yes or no, please?
Got it, sir. So basically, inter-context route exchange.
Ah,
So,
yes, yes. So I go to VR1 router. So let's see how to create this particular peering now. So I go to the VR1 router. I go here. I go to VR1 router. On VR1 router, what do? I go to BGP. I go to BGP routing protocol on VR1 router. And what do I do there? So I go to what? Peer group. Create a new peer, right? Peer group. External peers, because this external peer, what is it now? eBGP type. But this is what? IBGP. This is what? IBGP in say VR1, VR2, right? So what do I do now? I create another group. I create another group. I say internal peers. I give some name. I give the name as internal peers. Internal peers. Internal peers. Now what type it is now? EBG, IBGP, IBGP. I choose IBGP here. IBGP, internal peers. I say add. I should add one peer, right? Who's that? So I give the name as Mango. I give the name as Mango hyphen HO firewall hyphen VR2. Which part AAC belongs to? 200 because I said internal peers, right? What's the local interface? What do I choose now? Loopback
Loopback.
interface. What's address of loopback one? So and so. 101.1/32. You understand now? What's the peer address? Peer address is 192.168.102.1. You understand now? I'm making this one as what? Your peer is so and so, I'm saying. And never by whom now? Loopback.1. Say update source loopback one interface, that command. So router BGP, this one, your peer is what? 102.1. When you send in the update, this one as source IP address. That's what I'm saying. Right? Now I say okay. Now I say what again? Okay. I say again what? Okay. So I commit the changes here on Mango R1 HO file. Before that, let's go to Mango VR2 also. I go to VR2, do the same thing, right? I go to VR2 router, second router. On the second router again, what do? I go to BGP routing protocol. On the second router, I got BGP routing protocol. I create a peer group. I get one more peer group called as internal peers of VR2. That should be a different name, right? So internal peers internal PS of VR2. Something like that I give. I say VR2. Now I say what? Enable a peer. And what's the peer's name? Mango. I say mango hyphen HO firewall hyphen VR1. What's the peer AS? Peer AS is what? 200. What's the local interface? Loopback.2. And what is the IP address? 102.1. And what is the IP address over there? 192.168.101.1. Right? I say what? Okay. Now I say what? Okay. But what is this peer now? EBGP or IBGP? I
IBGP.
all these are what IBGP related peers, right? I say okay. Now I say okay. Now I say commit the changes. I say commit changes. Now my question to all of you is, can they become neighbors to each other?
No.
So I made them as like this, right? So update source loopback is already given, but are they reachable?
No.
So I
No
can't.
static.
So what should I do now? Static route, right? Correct.
Yeah. Yes.
So I should go to, so they can't become neighbors to each other as of now. So let us see that also before we do this. So I go to VR1 route. I go to the firewall. I go to the firewall. I go to the firewall. I do the command show routing protocol. See, don't worry about it. I give the command show routing protocol BGP. Peers of the virtual router, Mango VR1, right? Show me the peers of VR1 router. When I say enter, it shows about Mango R1, which is established. Mango R1, it is established. But I want to see about VR2 router, right? Second one is established. So I say enter. It says what? With the Mango VR2, what's the status now? Connect state, right? Not established. They're not becoming peers to each other. Why? One issue is what? Reachability, right? So reachability. So what should I do now? Add a static route on VR1 saying for this IP address, send the packet next to VR, right? Again, also add a static route here saying what? For this particular network ID, send the packet so and so next to VR, right? I should add one static route on VR1, one more on VR. Let us do that. So I go to VR1 router. I go to VR1 router. I go to VR1 router. There I add a static route. I go to static routes. I go to static routes on Mango Firewall VR1. I say add a static route. I give the name as 192.168.102.1. Destination this is more important, right? So 192.168.102.1/32 host route. For so and so IP /32. Which interface I should send the packet? I can't choose interface. I say what? Next stop is not an IP. Next stop is what? VR. Which VR? Mango VR. You understood now? I'm adding a route saying that for so and so network, so and so must send the packet to next VR, VR2, VR, right? I say okay. I say okay. Similarly, I go to VR2. I go to VR2. What happens now? Again, I add a static route here. Add a static route saying what? Saying, I say add. I give the name as 192.168.10.1. 192.168.101.1. And the destination is what? 192.168.101.1/32 for so and so IP, so and so mask. Send to whom? Next to hop is what? A VR. Which VR? Mango VR1 VR, right? I give like this. Now I say what?
So
Okay.
here why we are not choosing the interface here?
How can I, which interface is there? Which interface? Nothing, right?
Okay.
So I'm not saying why interface so and so. IP also is not there. I say what? Next to VR, right? That's why I say next. You understood this one?
No, the interface it is asking for the VR. I mean the virtual router interface, right? On the third one interface.
The interface. You want to choose what? What do you want to choose here now?
Which interface we want to reach to the VR2? I mean, it is
What
a
can I choose within 1/3? No, right? Can I
okay.
choose 1/4? No, right? What can I choose now? It's not showing the virtual interface, correct?
Hmm.
I choose what? None.
None. Okay.
Understand what?
We don't have any physical connectivity between the VRs.
There's no, this is virtual interface. You understand the virtual interface between the EVR or VR, right? So actually they are called as warp links. Warp links in checkpoint. Here, like say they say what? Mango show firewall VR2/I3 interface, right? That's the name of this interface. This will be what? VR1/I3 interface will be there. So I can't choose it. Their option is not there. So I choose what? None. Is that okay here? Now I say what? Commit. Now when I say commit now, will they become neighbors or any other issues are there? Let us see this. So reachability is also there, right? So they should actually become neighbors to each other. But then what is this
Multi-hop,
now?
I think. Multi-hop
No.
we had.
IBGP can be multiple hops away. Only EBGP only the TTL will be what? One. So it can't be multiple
Okay.
hops away. IBGP can be multiple hops away by default. So IBGP, right? So that is not the issue. What other issue might be there? Reachability was one issue. Second issue was update source loopback 0. We have done those two, right? Multiple hub is not there because of this. But then if you see carefully, what zone this belongs to? Zone 3. This belongs to
Policy.
what? Zone 6. This is what? Interzone or intrazone traffic?
Interzone.
Interzone traffic, right? Different zones. By default, not allowed access. So BGP packets. BGP, when it sends in packet, they can't become neighbors to each other, right? So I should also modify security policy accordingly. So right now, if I go here now, I say, when I go here, I say show, I can't see. I don't see that they become neighbors to each other. So again, when I go to here, I give the command on Mango firewall. I give the command like this. So PS of ER1, it shows that Mango R1 it is established, but the firewall 2, it is not established. Firewall 2, what's the current state? They're not becoming neighbors to each other. Why? Because reachability problem. So what do? I go tell the firewall. I go here. I tell the firewall here. I go to policies and I go to the security policy, right? Add a new security policy saying when the packets are going from zone 3 to zone 6, right? So P1 policy I'm adding saying source. When the packets are going from zone 3 or zone 6, zone 3, zone 6, going again to zone 3 or zone 6, zone 3 or zone 6, zone 3, zone 6, zone 3, zone 6. Which application? BGP application for BGP related packets, right? BGP application, allow the packets to go. Once I write the rule for BGP, allow the packet to go between these two zones, then what happens? They can become neighbors to each other. Had it been in the same zone, then not required, right? This is zone 3 here. This also is zone 3 here. Then what happens? Intrazone traffic by default allowed access. they could have become neighbors to each other, but because it's like between the different zones, they can't become neighbors to each other. So again, when I say close, now if I go to the here, if I go here, I give the command show for VR1. What happens now? This should have got what? Established between these two also. So it says what? The VR2 established, right? VR2 was established. I'm giving the command on VR1, say what established, right? So 3.3. They became what? Neighbors to each other. You understood now? So between the loopback, when I do loopback, first is what? I should make it as what? /32, not /24. First option. Second thing, between the loopback, when you do, you should also have static route. Next VR, next VR. Reachability should be there, right? Then what? Update source loopback 1, update source loopback 2. That option is anyway there. And then what? Security policy, zone 3 to zone 6, different zones, allow the packet to go. Now they become what? Neighbors to each other. They become neighbors to each other. Right? Now what happens? They exchange the routes with each other now. If I now go here, I should see what? In the BGP, I should see what? This 6.0, 4.0 shall come like this, right? So I should see 6 and 4 here in the BGP table. Correct? Will I see in the routing table? Anybody would like to add something now? Will I see in the BGP table, also see the routing table, or only BGP table? Let us see this. See, now we have seen already that when I give to my IBGP neighbor, the next hop will be sent as it is, right? 2.1 is the next hop attribute. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Let us see in the VR2, the BGP table of VR2 and see what happens on that.
We will see
So I
the
give
routes in
here,
only BGP table, sir, because next hop is not changed.
show routing protocol. Which protocol? BGP. Local rib of the virtual router Mango VR2. I say enter. It shows that, see carefully. 1.0 BGP route only. So 1.0 is there. 4.0, 3.0 also is there. But 3.0, 101.1 next hop address. For 1 dot next hop is what? 2.1? You understand now? See carefully here. This called a route. This called a route. Directly connected, right? So next hop has been changed to what? 101.1. But this called a 101, 1.0. When it gives me EBGP, I give to IBGP neighbor. I say next hop as it is, right? So next hop is what? 2.1. Is 2.1 reachable? No. So it does not put the asterisk mark over this. See? For 1.0, I don't see asterisk mark here, right? It's not valid route because next stop is what? 2.1. Because next stop address is 2.1, I don't see the asterisk mark. So will I give the route? I may give 3.0, I may add in the routing table, but 1.0 I don't give to the router, right? I don't get added. Doesn't get added. So let's give this now. Show routing route of the virtual router Mango VR2. Enter. If you see carefully here, it has added 3.0 got added, saying because of BGP, but I don't see 1.0 getting added here. 1.0 not getting added because there's no asterisk mark here. This is what? Not the best route. No asterisk mark is there, right? To understand why? Because next stop is what? 2.1. So what should I do? I should go and tell this for the VR1 router. When you are giving to the internal peers, make yourself as what? Next stop self. When you give to the neighbor, next stop self command we gave in BGP, right? Can I do that in Palo Alto? Yes. How do I do that? Let's see carefully. So I go to VR1. I go to network. I go to VR1. What do I do in VR1? I go to BGP. I go to BGP. And what do I do in BGP now? I go to peer group, right? Internal peer, external peers are there.
Yes, sir.
I put internal peers. When you go to internal peers, and all these are peers, right? I say what? Next stop should be export. Original is there or use self? Which option is selected here now?
Originals is selected. Use self we have to.
Unchanged. This is what unchanged. In Cisco, we call it as unchanged, right?
Sir. Yes,
Unchanged.
sir.
Prasad. So here I say what? Use self. So what do I do now? I choose what? Use self. When you are given to all the peers, make it as what? Use self. Or can I do only for this particular peer? Only for this particular peer, I don't have this option, right? Maybe connection option is there. So nothing is there. Advanced is there. Peer in type and all is right. So I should only give to the peer group, right? So in the group itself, I say what? Use self. So whoever is a member, because all are internal peers only, right? IBGP is going to be there. For all IBGP peers, make your next stop as what? Yourself. Change the next stop and put yourself. So now I say okay. I say okay. Again, when I give the commit command, now what happens? On the VR2 router, I can see this for a router. So next stop is what? 101.1. So that greater than sign will be there in Cisco router. Here is what? Access mark. I can see in the BGP table, right? Let us see all this. So now I go to the firewall. I don't see here this mark, right? So now I should, when I give the same command again, I should see this. I up arrow twice. I say enter. Now I see what? For 1.0 also, I see this, right? I see it what? This one I see. Saying it is the best route. Asterisk. Not showing here, but anyway, that's what the meaning, right? So it's there. So now what happens now? This will be given to the router. So when I see routing table, sorry, I give the command show IP route, show routing routing table of the virtual router Mango VR2. It shows this particular route in the routing table, right? So 1.0 got added because next stop is what? 1.1.1 BGP route, right? This got added in the routing. So what happens now? I'm learning here. I'll also give to this particular neighbor. So Mango R2 also will know about what? 1.0 and then 3.0. When I give to my eBGP neighbor, I change next stop I do it myself only, right? That anyway is done. So when I go to Mango R2, I should see all the routes. Show IP route, I can see about what? 1, 3, and also 5 network ID because of BGP. Same way, this particular route now, which route? This route 6.0 and 4.0. When they are given to this router, for this anyway, next stop will be 1.2.1. For this route, next stop will be what? 5.2. When 5.2 here, what happens? Greater than sign will not be there for this. This will be over there, right? So that will be there in the BGP table only. Let's see for VR1 now. Again, I go to firewall. I give the command show routing protocol BGP routing protocol local rib of the virtual router Mango VR1. It shows there's no for 6.0, there's no asterisk mark here, right? Because next stop address is what? 5.2. And 5.0 is not reachable. That's why when I give the command show routing route of the virtual router Mango VR1. I don't see this route in the routing table. That 6.0 is not there in the routing table, right? So what should I do now? Again, I go and tell this particular router. When you are given internal PS, IBGPS, make yourself as what? Next stop self, right? How do I do that? Again, I go to VR2. I go to VR2 router BGP. BGP protocol running on the virtual router 2. BGP running on virtual router 2. Then I go to peer groups. There I have internal peers, right? I say what? Use self. Use self. This option was not there, right? Use self means next stop should be your own. I change the next stop attribute to yourself. That's the meaning of this. I say okay. I say okay. I say commit the changes. Now when I say commit the changes, now if I go to VR1 router, now when I go to VR1 router, I can clearly see all this, right? So local rip of VR1, so still 6.0 is not there. Let's wait for some time. Still 6.0, I don't see greater than sign because the route is getting installed, policy getting installed, right? I say enter. Now I can see what? 6.0 greater than sign, right? I see 6.0, I see what? Greater than sign over there. Now when I give the command show routing protocol, routing route, show routing route of the virtual router, Mango, VR1, it shows what? 6.0 routes are there in the routing table. 6. Next stop is what? 102.1, right? It got changed. So what happens now? I learn from here. I also give to my eBGP neighbor. So Mango R1 should also be knowing about these routes, right? I say enter, they know about all these routes. You understand now?